Looks like goddamn Mario Kart out here.
Checkered everything.
There's something on that car.
It's a hang.
Daddy's home.
What the shit? Race control.
Right. One more car and I'm taking it out of your ass.
I'm gonna take this track and make it my pitch.
Did you know that races are won and lost in the pits?
I did not know that.
Did you not?
The IMS is the best there ever was.
Daddy doesn't do road cars.
Daddy only does ovals. We certainly don't take ourselves that seriously, so you shouldn't. Welcome to Fast Cars, Fast Girls with Abby and Molly. All right, so with us today we have Angela Savage on the phone. Angela, you are, can be seen at many IndyCar events. But for people who feel like your name sounds familiar and don't exactly know you, you are the daughter of Swede Savage.
That's right. My dad, very proud to be his daughter.
Yeah, and so he is a well-known IndyCar driver, and passed away. And now, had you been born yet?
No. He was the last fatal accident that happened during the Indianapolis Motor Speedway at IMS in 1973. My mother was 6 months pregnant with me in the audience, and he had a crash in turn 4. It wasn't fatal. He didn't die then, but he went to the hospital, survived 33 days, and then he finally succumbed to his injuries. Now, I was born just a couple months after he died, so I just barely missed him, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then also, he did IndyCar, but he... to say that he was an IndyCar driver sells him short, because he raced anything that has wheels on it. 2, 4, whatever. He did Trans Am Series he's very well known for, and some of the other series. He did everything, basically. So Indy, he had 2 races. He did the 72 race, but his car engine blew, and he didn't get very far in the race. And then he did the 73 race, which, we all think that he would have gone on to win a lot of races if it hadn't been for the tragedy in 73. But thank God he's the last fatal accident that we've had there during the Indy 500.
Yeah. Of course, it's unfortunate that the last accident was your dad, but it's wonderful that we haven't had a fatal accident since 73.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that double-edged sword. Of course, it sucks that my dad had to be the one. I didn't want to pick this card. I didn't want this deck. I would have rather him been maybe an accountant, kind of somebody normal that would have been there, right? But, at the same time, it makes me happy that he was the last one, too. So it's this weird combination of feelings. Like, one thing that I get a lot of comfort from is knowing that a lot of safety things went down after he died. Things that probably should have happened before that, but whatever. You can't get bitter about that or it'll kill you, But
absolutely.
A lot of safety features happened directly after that race. So I sort of feel like, in a weird way, my dad died, but he saved a lot of other people. And that's how I can rationalize the pain, really.
That's a very good way to think about it, actually.
It is.
It is, and I imagine it must be very hard, but that's a wonderful outlook to have about that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, it took me,
Sure.
I wasn't born with those, feelings. It's taken me 45 years to figure out how to even carry this kind of thing. And, I came out, it's not like I didn't come out unscathed.
Sure.
They found now that women in their 3rd trimester, they experience some major trauma, that the baby sucks all that up like a sponge and can actually show signs of PTSD from the mom. Because if you think about it, we're in there absorbing all those feelings and everything. Well, there was a lot going down in the last, couple months of my life in there. And I struggled so long just trying to hide from all of it. I got into heavy drugs and alcohol. By the time I was 11 years old, I was already just way messed up. And it hasn't been until 2014 laughing when a friend of mine, a super fan, Paul Powell, figured out who I was on Facebook and started to say, well, have you ever considered coming back here? And, my immediate reaction was something like, hell no. Why do I want to go to the place that ruined my life? It was all pain and bitterness. And then finally I realized, geez, maybe there'll be some answers there for me. So I just kind of closed my eyes and walked into it, and it turns out that facing my biggest fear has been the best thing that I've ever done for myself. And I had to really conquer those demons, so to speak. And now I feel like I'm handling it better. I mean, I'm functioning, that's good, but I'm also doing my father proud. I can't imagine how he must have struggled watching his daughter struggle so much here, right? And I feel like now I'm actually being Sweet's daughter, and I might even be doing that pretty good. And that's taken a lot of hard work and a lot of self, searching to get to a point where it's not so hard that it ruins me every day. It's just kind of it's a thing that never goes away, and you just have to learn how to make it work for you, or it's going to work against you. Just like with a lot of other things, I suppose.
Absolutely, yeah. I was 21 when my dad passed away, and
oh gosh,
and so we're in the same club there.
Yeah.
So you got,
it's the club nobody wants to be in, but
right?
we don't get a choice.
Exactly. Yeah. Nobody wants to be in our club,
choice.
but I say we do have some good members in it, but yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, my dad's mom, my grandma, was still alive when my dad passed away, and something she said to me and my sister that to me has been the truest thing about grief is that she just said it's not something that's ever okay. It's not something you ever totally get over. She said it's just a hole in your heart that you have to learn how to live with.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And then, of course, parents losing children, that's never going to be easy. And now that I have my own kids, I can see that now. But, not only did my father die when he was only 26, but then my only sister, died from leukemia when she was only 28.
My goodness.
So my mom, gosh, she hasn't been really able to come back to the racing community because she always just she put it in a safe little place. You know what I'm saying? And, but she's been through so much, and having my sister pass and stuff. But, funny, I'm mentioning her now because she's actually flying into Indiana right now, and we're going to spend Thanksgiving together, and I put together, my friend and business associate Ted Warner of Miles Ahead, we put together a little Savage suite, we call it, in our offices, and it's all my dad's memorabilia out in a room, like a little museum, and she hasn't even seen that yet, so she's going to see that today or tomorrow, and it's all good. It's all good for her to come back and to see that people really, this community really is what they say it is. They never forget. They'll always love you. It is a family, and I'm anxious for her to get a little taste of that too.
Yeah, and to have some of that experience firsthand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love here in Indiana, a lot of Savage love, and I can't wait for her to come get some of that.
There is. I actually, I say before you and I had met and had spoken all that, I actually remember the year that you came back to the Indy 500 because the Indy Star wrote up a big article, and I hadn't researched that much of your history, your dad's history at the time, until that article came out, and it just struck me as, I was glad that you came back. And I was really glad that, everybody just opened you with open arms because it's, it's one of those things when you go back to a place that everybody knows your dad, it's like you said, it's a big fear, and it's bittersweet in a lot of ways.
Right.
Because
it's
obviously
weird that everybody and their mother seems to know my dad except for me. And that was really hard thing to process at first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just have to figure, hey, let's let them share their memories with me. And what's turned out to be is like I'm their connection to my dad, but really they're my connection to my dad.
Yeah.
They got to be here. They got to see it and be here, and I didn't. So I had to make some peace with that. And now, it's kind of just like a little happy family. Somehow it's just really worked out. It's kind of been it's really miraculous, actually. And that's one reason why I like to talk about it in my business associate again, Ted Warner. He's writing a book about, it's not really a racing book. It's also about what happens to a family after something like that happens in the racing world. And that's kind of new tapped in territory. That I know that in past, those people kind of wanted to shove the tragic stuff a little bit under the rug because it hurts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Remember that. And actually in 2014 when I came back, there's an article right in the center, a 4-page centerfold spread of me and my dad, and that's the first time they ever really kind of acknowledged families like after the death, right? Because it's kind of a tough situation to tackle. So I feel a lot honored that to be in the program for the race. It's right in the middle in the 2014 program, and so now and then of course Rich McDonald and Sherry McDonald, the wife and son of Dave McDonald, who had a fatal accident during the Indy 500 in 1964. After I came back, then they also came back and made peace. And all of us walked out to the turn 4 and had our little sacred ceremony and stood there on the places where our fathers burned. And it's been such a healing experience. And also Eddie Sachs Jr., whose father was involved in the same accident. We all had our fathers, I hate to sound morbid, but they crashed and burned in turn 4. We're the turn 4 kids. But there we are, standing out there all together, holding on to each other and conquering our sadness and trying to stand tall, right?
Yeah.
Pride. And
that's very.
It's been really neat.
Yeah.
That's a very amazing moment, I think.
That is. Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't think of the right word for it, but that's very good to hear. And I think.
Well, and thank you for sharing that with us. That's a very intimate moment between you all. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
The reason I try to do that now is because I've been to the bottom, it's rock bottom, and I talk a lot about that in the book, with drugs and alcohol and everything that comes along with that. And to be honest, I really should be dead 300 or 400 times. I don't know why I survived myself, but I figure it's now to maybe turn back around and help some other people. I know there's so much pain in the world, and there's so much suicide and depression, and I really want to stand in front of some of these people that are really struggling and show them you can be at the bottomest, rock bottom, cracked out, and you can still come back ahead and stand up with pride and beat all those demons, even after 40 years. You think it's never going to happen, but God came back around for me, and I just want to offer some sort of hope to other people that might be struggling just to get through today.
Absolutely. I think that's extremely important. And like you said with your dad, how, the one of the good things how you can kind of make sense of, him dying is that there were all these safety improvements. I feel the same way, like in my own life, as far as my dad dying, is it's like, it sucks. And obviously I wish it hadn't happened. But when I've had friends who've lost parents since then, I have my own experience to be able to say, it's okay. It's normal that you feel like this. It's all right if you don't want to shower for 2 weeks, and to be able to, offer up, some hope and some familiarity, some of those, because there's just so many different emotions. And so I love how open you are about that, because it's not something that gets talked about a lot, but it is something that everybody has to deal with at some point. We all have to deal with loss. And and it's kind of it's a nice way to put a positive on.
I think best way to win is to take the demons that are trying to get you down and to conquer all that stuff and somehow turn around and help somebody else do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that might be, to me, that might be considered real success with a life. You know, it's not a giant bank account. It's not the right car or the right look. It's about what you've done with your craft and how you've used it to help other people. You know, that might be a way to really be winning. So that's what I'm going for.
I think that's a great way to win at life. 100%.
I do too.
Yeah, I think those are the real measurable things. Not the money, like you said, not the car, but making sure that you are helping other people and kind of almost kind of that karmic giving back type of thing. So no, I think that's a beautiful sentiment.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Now with the Savage Suite, because I don't want to, I say we mentioned that, but I did want to ask some more questions. So the Savage Suite, so it's like your own little mini Swede Savage museum. What all kinds of events are you guys going to use there? I know we weren't able to make it out to the open house
Because we're horrible people.
Because we're horrible people who work too much. But yeah, so what all do you guys, or what do you envision using that room for?
Well, Milehead, as some people may or may not know, we work with Mini, the car manufacturer right now. We go all across the central region into to the Mini dealers and set up an autocross for the Mini dealership. Then we let people come and do hot laps in a Mini John Cooper where the new models, and we have to do these hot laps in every single model. You get to try the one you like or find the one that you like. Well, what we're doing this year, which is going to be new and exciting, is we're going to offer that same service for corporate events. We're going to, if you have a large business and you might be getting tired of the same old golf game or let's go get a beer or, bowling, whatever, golf is played. It's old. We want to do new stuff. So any corporation can hire us to come and put on your own private autocross, either at your own location or at another venue if your parking lot isn't the proper square footage or whatever. We have venues here too. In fact, I think we're going to be working with Marian University right here, and we're going to use that as our venue if they don't have their own place they want to do it, and then also use the Allison Mansion in the evening for dinner.
Like
that. So we're going to be offering private corporate events for anybody who'd like to have their own autocross for themselves, their employees, and their customers. So that's a whole new exciting thing that we're doing. So we have our warehouse here in Carmel that we've got all set up. We just sent the cars back this year, but next year we'll get all new models. And so we had an extra room in there. So I had all my father's memorabilia in boxes, and I finally got it all out and set up a little museum in there. So we just like to, it's really by invitation only. Mm-hmm. It's a quaint little spot, and I like to be there when people come in and know who's coming and that sort of thing. But we're really excited about having a spot where we can showcase all of my dad's stuff, and I have a lot more than I ever knew I even had. I just kept it all in boxes. It was too painful to even open these boxes. I just said, that's Dad in a box. That's what I called it, and I just would, never even could open it. So finally I opened it all up. Well, I've got a lot of neat stuff, and now we're showcasing it for anybody that wants to come and see it. So that's fun.
That
really
is very
exciting.
cool. Yeah, that's very cool. And I just want to say, the autocross for corporate events, that sounds... If I worked at a job that did that, I would be like, this is the best fucking job ever.
Yeah, I would never leave my employer.
I mean, that just sounds so much fun.
Yes.
Like, it just sounds like so much fun.
That is...
We have such a blast at our events that, if it were me and I had a big corporation, I would be all over that.
I know.
All over that.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun and kind of a whole new concept, new idea. Like I said, it's not the same old golf game. Let's go golfing. This is, everybody drives a car. Not everybody likes to golf.
Yeah.
Everybody can get into this. So
Yeah,
like you
everybody
said,
loves to
if
drive
my
fast.
boss was throwing a party like that, I think it was the coolest boss that ever happened.
Yes.
And I think it's gonna be really fun.
I'm going to try and figure out how to get the state of Indiana to do this. It's going to take a lot of work, but this is happening. I don't know how, but this is going to happen.
I know. Well, keep your ears open. You know, anytime you hear somebody looking for a new fun event to
I
do,
will.
give me a call.
Yeah.
We've got the new gig that it's really going to be a hit. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that sounds super fun. So
It's such a fun thing to work with too, because basically, I mean, it's hard work. We drive to another state. We have to set it all up. You know, it's like the carnival. You know, you have to be able to travel over the weekend and all that.
I think.
You know, you're on the road. Of course, now this is our off season.
Yeah.
See, because it gets cold. And
Yeah.
being a California girl, I never knew what off-season meant, but this is pretty cool.
That's right.
So you don't have to go anywhere.
This
Hey.
is your first winter here in Indiana, isn't it?
It's pretty cold here. This is my first winter, yes.
Yeah.
In Indiana.
starting out with a
I'm from Southern
bang.
California, so this is it's a little bit of culture shock, but I love it. I love the cold.
Oh, okay.
I think it's really beautiful.
You
know, I might not have the same attitude in February. You'll have
No.
to say.
Or okay, well, so here's a fun joke about Indiana winters. You say you won't feel the same way in February. You won't. I guarantee that.
Yeah.
In February, you'll be like, snow again? I'm so tired of this. But when you will really hate
I'm
it
done.
is when it randomly snows in April.
Yes. That's when you're going to really not like it.
That's the time that everybody's like, are you kidding me? We're done. We're done. We've done enough. We've done 5 months of this bullshit. No more snow.
Yeah.
I will say.
Well, at least we'll all be in it together then.
Yeah, it's kind of like a collective grumbling, so that's nice.
It is. And usually, you know, by the time.
Exactly about.
Yeah. Well, and like by the time like February, March rolls around, because I lived in Fort Wayne for a couple of years, and they actually have even worse winters than Indianapolis. But it would reach a point where it was like, as a community, we all were just so fed up with the snow that like you'd come out to sweep off your car, and whoever was the first person up would have like hit everybody's windshields, like just to be a good neighbor. Like, it's okay.
Aww.
Like, I know everybody hates their lives. I woke up a little early. I'm going to go ahead and hit everybody's windshields.
Right.
Like, there was so much good Samaritan scraping of cars that
Right.
I was like, okay, this has restored my faith in humanity. I don't feel like jumping off a bridge anymore from the winter and this cold weather.
Right. At least we're all miserable together too, you know? Then it becomes kind of fun. We're all in this together. So
We are. But it's nice to not have to travel.
Yeah.
Right. I'm digging it. I can do this.
So I feel like we've already gotten very personal with you, but you just celebrated a wedding anniversary. I was gonna say like delving into your personal life,
an
but
open book right now, so this is just, you know, I'm used to sharing my feelings lately. You know, I haven't always been this way, but
Sure.
you know, I just feel like I've really come to terms with who I am, and you know, this wonderful, amazing, completely good-looking dad that I had. You know, and I
oh yeah,
feel
your
like
dad was a
I'm finally
fox.
kind of doing it right. I mean, have you seen him? He's so cute. It should be illegal.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. Well, and yeah, he
That's
is.
my dad.
Hey,
Peter,
that's
back off. You know, the people say the guys wanted to be him and the girls wanted to be with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cute. Pretty cute.
Yeah, no, he was very cute.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy that he was 26 when he passed away.
Yeah.
I mean, what a baby, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Such a baby, and all the things that he accomplished by 26. You know, I was still trying to find a pair of shoes, and he's already, you know, done all this amazing stuff. So, you know, that's what kind of amazes me. That's so young, but he was so accomplished in just such a small amount of years. You know, we can all learn from that, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, do you find, because we've got, I've got 7 nieces and nephews, number 8 on the way, and 6 of them met my dad before he passed away. Obviously, your kids didn't have the opportunity to meet your dad, but do you find that you know, you've got kids that sometimes look exactly like your dad, or that they'll do things that make your mom say, oh my gosh, that's exactly, you know, like a mannerism or.
Right. Well, Chance Savage, my firstborn son, is the carbon copy actually, of Grandpa. And then Cruz, his younger brother, has the attitude, right? Chance has the look, and Cruz has the attitude. So, yeah, there's definitely Savage genes pulling through kids. But being here in Indiana, they can feel the love that people have for their grandpa, and I can see the pride in them.
Oh,
and
good.
so it makes me feel good that I brought them back here, you know, to kind of experience some of the love that's still trickling over from their grandpa. You know, that's been really neat.
Yeah.
Watching them enjoy being, you know, being related to that really cool guy.
Yeah, that's very cool. So now, what all influenced your decision to move back to Indiana? Or well, not move back, but
work.
to move to sorry,
It was
but
work.
to move.
My husband had his own business in Boulder City, Nevada. That's where I lived, and he was a handyman that did all kinds of stuff, but he had a really bad fall on the ladder and smashed up his legs and broke his feet all up really bad. Well, we didn't have insurance or anything like that, and suddenly, you know, he's broken. He can't even get out of bed. So luckily I had this job, was miles ahead, and it all just kind of worked out that way. He can't work, so he couldn't really do anything, and everything. I had full-time work here in Indiana, and what I was doing at first was I was flying home like every 3 weeks to see my kids and my family here, and then I have to come back to work, and I just couldn't do that anymore. So the writing was kind of on the wall. I mean, there wasn't any work there. Scotty couldn't work, and I had a full-time job here. So I just I put my little place up for rent in Boulder City and got here. It was a crazy summer. I literally decided that we were going to move and had everybody completely moved all within 30 days.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, it was like and that was in the middle of our season where I'm going to different states every single weekend for an event. It was just 1 week. I'm like, Ted, my boss, I said, I can't do this. I miss my kids. I'm like, I'm going home. I'm going to get them, and I'll be right back. And basically, that's what I did. So, luckily, I got lucky. I found a house right away, and I found a really nice couple to rent my place right away. You know, everything had to kind of fall into place, and it did. So, even though it was crazy, and you know, moving is always
The worst.
stressful, it was a real adventure. I mean, I called Scotty. I'm like, Scotty, sell everything. We're moving. So then I show up, and we just threw a little bit of stuff in our camper trailer, the dog and the cat and the kids, and just hit the road.
Perfect.
And it was a real adventure then, and it actually still is. We're having fun.
Good. I think that's the most important.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, cool.
That is awesome.
Right.
Well,
And then, now also Scotty, my husband, he, our timing and scoring guy, can't come back next year. So my husband's going to be doing the timing and scoring for Miles Ahead for these autocross events.
Oh, cool.
So that's been a really neat turn of events. So this will be a family affair. Even the past few events this summer, we all piled in the car together with the kids and everything. And Chance, he's turned into cone boy. You know, someone hits a cone, someone's got to call it in, and somebody's got to go pick it up. So my son's the cone boy now too. So we kind of just really made ourselves at home in this autocross world, and we all get to do it together. And it's been a blast.
that's awesome.
That's
I love that.
Fun.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. So, and you got your mom coming in for the week?
Yep, she's coming in for Thanksgiving. Her best friend, Kat Wright, was the wife of my dad's mechanic back in the early 70s. She's still here, and they're still best friends. So she's going to come see her friends and,
that's
and hang
wonderful.
out with us, too.
Oh, that's going to be so
Yeah.
much fun for her. Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't
Well,
seen her in a while. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, and that's so nice that they've remained such good friends over the years because, you know, as we know, there's nothing like the racing world. And so to have a friend that, you know, that understands that and has been through the ups and downs, and yeah, that's wonderful that they still have such a good friendship.
Yeah, that definitely is.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's do some local Indiana stuff. What has been your favorite local restaurant or fun thing to do around Indy since you guys got here?
Well,
I mean, other than your business.
You know what I want to do is I want to go to Sarah Fisher's karting restaurant. And go karts with the boys and Fast Times. What is that? Indoor karting or fun or something. I'm gonna go tour all the karting
That would be so much fun.
adventures here with the boys.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, absolutely. Well, just a heads up, Molly and I will meet you at 1911 for Sarah for Speedway Indoor Karting anytime.
Yeah.
we love their
We should all
food.
meet there and just have a big go-karting party.
We should.
Have you guys found like a local place to start eating that you guys really like? Are you still kind of doing that, figuring it out?
You know, I'm on tour day food of Carmel. I've been trying all these different restaurants and really having fun. I go down to Broad Ripple, and I make sure that I go to a different place every time I go there. I can say one place that I know is really good. This place called Pies and Pints.
Ooh.
Yes.
It's new. It's by Cordova, by the Starbucks in Carmel, and they have the best pizzas ever. If you just want a good pizza, try it. And they have really good beers on tap, too. So I really like that place. I've been there a few times.
That's awesome.
That sounds great.
I'll say, as far as Rodwell goes, so Molly and I are big, we like to sample all kinds of alcohol. But we but we love hard ciders.
Yeah.
And Broad Ripple Brew Pub and then Brew Burger on Mass Ave both have a pear cider that is fantastic.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, because I love the hard apple ciders and things like that, but the pear cider...
Yeah, you got to get... I mean, it's so cold outside, you got to get into the hot toddies around here.
Well, that's true. It is time to start moving into the warmer drinks.
Yeah. Warm you up from the inside.
Exactly.
We'll drive. Get your driver. We can have the pregnant lady drive.
Yeah. She became DG when that happened.
Yeah, no, she's our designated driver for the rest of the the rest of the pregnancy.
She has meaning and purpose.
There you
Exactly.
I can't wait for your sister to hear this.
Oh yeah. I'll be like, you have meaning and purpose. Angela Savage said so.
That's me as driver. It's an honor.
No, actually, she is our driver in a couple of weeks. So Molly and I have been best friends since we were 5, and long before we started this podcast. And so our families, we grew up in the same church, and our families have known each other for years and years. And so we get together. This will be our 3rd year of what we call Liquor and Lights, which is that our family gets together and we all bring finger foods and get a little toasted, and then go look at the lights at the Brickyard. And so usually we make Molly's dad be the DD. But this year it's Beth.
Yeah, I want to do that too. I'm definitely going to have to go see the lights at IMS because that's cool.
It's
and then
very
there's
cool.
the Christmas Kindling something. I don't know how to say it.
Oh, like the Kinder Martyrs.
Outdoor ice skating rink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's really cool.
By the Performing Arts Center. That's right around the corner from the Miles Ahead office. And that
perfect.
was like something my mom would like, you know, just
totally.
pretty and Thomas Kincaid.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
That's totally
my
a mom
mom there.
thing. Yeah.
Hashtag Thomas Kincaid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Newfields is very cool too. They do an outdoor walk-through Christmas lights display.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, all that stuff. It's nice to have young kids because it makes you want to do more stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I can't not go to the Christmas lights at IMS, so
Right.
it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Ooh, a lot of times, so the Indiana State Museum, which is like downtown Indy, a little southwest of directly downtown, but they have an IMAX theater. It's I don't think it's where like the Scott Dixon Born Racer premiere was. But anyway, there's an IMAX theater there, and they do all kinds of cool stuff. But during Christmas time, they usually show some fun Christmas movies. And they usually do at least a couple shows of the Polar Express in the IMAX in 3D. And it is awesome. Like, it's one of those, like, for kids of all ages, it is super cool.
That sounds really neat. I bet my kids would really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom took my older siblings' kids there. She and my dad before he passed away, and then after he passed away, my mom, like, when they were all still younger, took them there, like, every single year. Because it's my mom's favorite Christmas movie is Polar Express. And so she was like, there are kids, we must go.
Yeah, you know how everything's so magical when you're a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I try and hang on to some child inside of me because somehow, you know, I like to be enchanted. And Christmas is such a nice time to watch enchantment in your kids' eyes and remind you to stay young yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and...
Keep the magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say from from my experience in the Dead Parent Club, that holidays can be bittersweet as well, and so it's nice when there's kiddos around and other people to remind you to to kind of look around and appreciate everything that you have and not.
You said that. I mean, this coming up on the holidays, you know, we're talking about all the fun aspects of it, but we all know that there's a lot of people, including myself, you know, the holidays are tough because sometimes it can remind you of who's not there anymore. And so we have to remember to find the joy in the little things and always be putting it on the people around us and keep our loved ones in our hearts during the holidays and remember that a lot of people struggle at this time, you know, and be open and aware to that and be there for your friends that might not enjoy the holidays as much as some of the other people do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that it's okay to, you know, to let somebody know that you're having a
to
bad
not be
day.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Yep.
okay to not be okay. So
That is okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we usually get this deep on this podcast.
I know. This is.
But you know what? It's that time of year, and it's important because
deep
there
podcast.
are a lot of people that have lost parents and and
Yep.
those
you
of
know,
us who
I have some social anxiety or did. I'm working on that, but sometimes just sitting around the big table with all your family that you never see except for then, you know, that used to be really terrifying for me as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to do the thing, you know, and I think it's important for us to remember not to be cliche, but it's the reason for the season, and it's a time to put out a lot of love, and like I said, be aware of people around you that might not be as enchanted and happy about the holidays as you are.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So, how did the fur babies do with the move, by the way? I heard you say dog and cat.
My kitty? Oh, kitty. I have a cat that I actually, my husband's definitely allergic to cats, and I adopted this kitty to give to my neighbor when I lived in Boulder City. Well, she didn't like my neighbor at all. So now I have this adopted kitty. You know, when I make a promise to an animal, I was going to take her back to the shelter, but I literally had to buy my own camper trailer so that I could keep this cat. So I called it, it's my little she shed, right? But it's also called the kitty condo. The cat lives in the camper trailer outside, and I got it turned into my little she shed. So she's doing just fine. Easy to say she's going to be one spoiled little kitty for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got her own food, so she's fine. She's doing great. She's doing better than any of us.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, no wonder she didn't like your neighbor. She was like, you know, if I stick around long enough, I feel like she's just going to give me my own house.
Well, I always tell her, like, all you have to do is let me spoil you, kitty. That's all you have to do, because when I first got her, she was completely feral.
Oh, yeah.
We called her Ghost Kitty because you could never even find her. She was so tight. So, with a lot of love and petting, she's given up the ghost, so to speak. She's just in the last week, she's really turned a leaf, where she's gone from feral cat to very comfortable, happy house cat. And
Oh, wow.
It's really fun to watch.
That's awesome. It is really fun to watch. Both of my cats were feral when I first got them, and yeah.
Yeah. So it just kind of makes me laugh. You know, I got it for myself, but it was really the cat that kind of made it happen faster. So,
Yeah.
You know, I like the drama of saying, I had to buy the camper for the cat. But
No,
it's my little she shed. You
Yeah.
know, we need our own little space to get away from everything. And
Absolutely.
I do. So it's become my little hideout. It's so fun.
Absolutely.
I like the story that you had to get it for the cat. I think that's the
Yeah.
that adds high drama. I like
That's
it.
the truth.
I mean, you know.
No, I love that.
Totally worth it.
Definitely.
I love that. Now, your husband, so you said that, he had injured himself, but he's back. He's back doing handyman work now, right?
Yep, that's right.
Good.
If anyone needs a handyman, you can call me up and I'll hook you up with Scotty. He's fast and efficient and really good at what he does. Very honest.
Good. Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
It's always need for good, honest handyman, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, he's handy to have around.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that would, I'm like, that would have definitely given him bonus points, like in the dating process. Oh, wait, you can fix everything? Okay.
Okay, add a few more points onto that
that's
skill.
what got him in the door. I'm like, you're kind of cute. Maybe you should just stay. Like, all right.
I dated an electrician for a couple of weeks. It didn't work out, but I did get my ceiling fan fixed.
No, that's
So.
all that matters. Got something out of that deal.
Ceiling fan, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Too funny. So, so Angela, what are you most excited about doing in 2019?
Yeah.
As far as personally, professionally, any and all of the above?
Personally, this book that my best friend and work associate Ted
Yeah.
is writing, it'll be done next year, and I'm really excited about that. I'm very excited about offering these corporate events
Yeah.
Yeah.
as miles ahead, in addition to doing our autocross events that we do for the mini dealers here in the central region. So, and just being here in town is really exciting, and of course, the Indy 500 is something I'll never miss again. So there's always that to look forward to. And, everything's really new and exciting right now. Being in a new town and being back home again in Indiana, that's the best thing that could be right now. So I'm just, I'm wide open for anything good and positive and the love and the light. And I can't wait to see what's coming up next. And I know that this book will be done this year, and doing these new corporate events is really exciting for me.
That's awesome. That
Yeah.
is excellent.
Yeah. Now, is there any, speaking of that book, is there a place people can kind of keep their eye out for it, or are you, how can people?
Yeah, definitely my timeline. Just follow
Okay.
me on my timeline, or
Okay.
join my dad's page. I have a page on Facebook. It's called Swede Savage 42 Forever Celebrated.
Okay.
Please come on out and join his memory page. Everybody's very nice. And there'll be all kinds of updates on that
Perfect.
page regarding all the stuff.
Awesome. I was like, this book sounds really cool. People are gonna start asking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Well, they're getting a little impatient already in this circle, so we're going to have to get that thing wrapped up here pretty quick.
They sometimes can get impatient about things, we found. In a good way,
Yeah.
though.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good that people want to read it. That's
Yeah.
a blessing in itself. So
Yeah.
you
No,
gotta get it done.
It sounds like
Yeah.
a very interesting book. I myself can't wait to read it. I think it's gonna be real cool to read.
Yeah. No, that.
All right.
I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Well, like you said,
Great.
it's a
Appreciate that.
yeah, it's a a book like that really hasn't been written for this community. So
I think it'll be good.
I think so too.
Yeah.
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 That is excellent. I had a question and then I forgot what it was. So
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Nice, Anna.
This happens to us all the time. We're very professional people. So
this is why we don't do live.
yeah. Well, I mean,
that and we swear a lot. We do pretty good on interviews, but when it's just her and I talking,
it gets bad.
Yeah.
What about, you mentioned the Facebook group. Is there any other social media like yours or your companies that you want to kind of get out real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. There's Miles Ahead Motoring Events. That's the company that I work for, Ted Warner's company. And then there's the Mini Challenge. And that's the event. Those are the autocross events that we do for Mini.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you come on out to Facebook and join the Miles Ahead Motoring Events page and the Mini Challenge page, that's all me. I do the social media, so I'm the man behind the curtain. If you have any questions, come to message me, and I can answer any questions that you have about it all.
Cool. All right, cool. I'll make sure to plug those 2 hours.
Excellent.
Did you think of your question?
I did not know. It
It's
was
gone.
like it was in the middle of
It'll come to you like at 3:00 in the morning. And you'll be like, "Oh yeah."
It totally will. Yeah, it'll be like 6:30 tonight, and I'll just text you and be like, "Oh, this is what it was."
It happens a lot.
You know where to find me anytime in social media. So just ask me that if you like.
All right,
right.
I can do that. Now, so since you have been coming back to the Indy 500, we love to ask people what their favorite part of the Indy 500 race day is.
Oh, well, it's that moment before the race when I always walk out onto the track there on the straightaway, and all the cars are there, and the people are down there, and for me, that time is just really magic. It's like the quiet before the storm, and you see some of the same people, and it's all about that electromagnetic energy that's in the air. It's completely palpable. I mean, you can cut it with a knife.
Oh, yeah.
And at that moment, it really it gets all over me because I'm right down there walking in it, and I just think that is the most incredible feeling ever, is the electromagnetic energy in the air.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can just feel the...
Everybody needs to come to the Indy 500 at least once in their lifetime and really experience what that's all about in person.
Oh, yeah.
I have said for years that I would literally refund somebody's money if they came to the Indy 500 with me and did not have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, if you come and don't have a good time, I will pay you for your ticket. Like, I will refund your money because I just don't think that it's possible to come and not experience how cool
to
it
me,
is.
I compare it to like in the Roman Empire when everybody's in the Colosseum and the guys are down there running around in their chariots, and those are the gladiators.
Yeah.
These are our modern day gladiators. This is what we do. That's like going to the, to the Colosseum and watching all that. This is what I think compares to that now in 2018. And they just, it's hard to find something that compares anywhere else. And I've been a lot of places in this earth, believe me. And being at the Indy 500 on race day is something everybody's got to experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
All right, I did remember my question.
That was...
Oh, no, that wasn't it. I said that was just another one, but I was like, there's one question I really wanted to ask. And, okay, so since we're leading into Thanksgiving, which, by the way, we hope you have a great week with your mom and with your family, and have great Thanksgiving. Since, we're kicking off the holiday season, are there any fun family traditions that you guys have that are, something you guys have done for years or something that's a little different than other people's holiday traditions?
Well, being in a new city, and a new state, everything's really new right now. So that makes it all exciting. We don't know where to get our tree yet. We don't know where we're going to put the tree yet.
Yeah.
It's all new, and that's what makes it exciting for me. I'm looking forward to making some new holiday traditions with my family here in Indiana. So, sky's the limit. I'm just looking forward to new adventures with new people. Yay!
Yeah.
That is
I
awesome.
like that.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, Angela, thank you so much again for coming on and talking with us. We appreciate it so very much.
Yeah, thank you. We
It's
hope
really
you...
been my pleasure. I love you guys, and I always see you at the track with your cute outfits on. And I'm really honored that you wanted to chat me out today. So thank you.
Well,
Oh, you're
thank
so
you.
welcome.
This has been a very amazing interview.
Yeah, it has. And thank you, for just being
Very open and honest. We really appreciate
open
that.
and vulnerable.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
Make sure you let's put a link up or something on my page, and we'll share it with people.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, absolutely, we will.
Definitely we will.
Yay. Okay.
Excellent.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me open up and share some of my thoughts and feelings about it all. And I really hope that you have a really awesome Thanksgiving and Christmas too. And of course, we'll be in touch more in Facebook land.
Yes.
Absolutely. And
Yes.
I say, and
Which
sometimes
is a real place. I mean, it really is a place, and then
It is.
you really do see them out in the world sometimes. You know, I love it when Facebook comes together with your real life, like when you and I
Yes.
see each other next time. You know,
Yeah.
I love. Some people see the negative of social media. To me, it's positive, and it's keeping us all connected together, making us closer. I think.
Yeah. Well, and you know, it's kind of, it is what you make of it. And
That's
you know,
right.
yeah, I think that, yeah, there's definitely a lot of positives. And yeah, well, and even with your page, like, I think it's so cool how much love for your dad and love for you is there from people that some you have met in person and a lot you haven't actually met in person. And yeah, it's like, that's a really cool thing that you wouldn't have without social media.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So I, for one, am very grateful for
Yeah.
that. Please.
Well, sometime this winter we need to make it up to actually get the personal tour of the Savage Suite.
Yeah, I'd love to show it to you anytime. Just contact me, and I'll meet you over there, and I'll give you the tour.
Sounds
Awesome.
good.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, and have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
have a good
great
time with your mom.
Yeah, enjoy your time with your mom.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
be in touch soon. You take care.
You too,
Thanks.
Angela.
Well, thanks for listening to that interview, everyone. Please check out Angela's pages on Facebook. It's Swede Savage, number 42, Forever Celebrated, and Miles Ahead Motoring Events. We'll make sure to link those as well from our Facebook page. So, of course, then you also need to check out our social media. Our Twitter is FastCarsIn317. Our Instagram is FastCarsFastGirls. And of course, Facebook.com/FastCarsFastGirls. We'll have all news and info because stuff is still happening. What off season? It's been crazy. So keep an eye on our social media. Of course, we'd love it if you would continue to share this podcast with your friends and family. And if you're feeling generous, send a review our way. You can find all of this information on our website, which is www.fastcarsfastgirls.com. We have a subscribe tab. Thank you again for listening.